I've not shared this before, but I'm going to show you exactly with real numbers what I charge for commercial photography. This video is going to be long. You need to watch the whole thing for it to make sense because the number alone won't mean anything. Now, having been on YouTube for probably 6 years now, I've never shared this level of detail, and there's a good reason for it. And the reason why I haven't is also now the reason that I am. So the main reason is this is a very gate-kept industry. Nobody shares their day rate. It is top secret. Nobody shares their charging tactics. It is top secret. And because of that, I'm going to share it. And I know it's taboo. If this video disappears in 48 hours, it's because I've received so much hate that I've just gone stuff it, it's gone. But what I'm hoping is I can share this so you don't have to, like me, spend the next decade trying to work it out. Now, there is something I'm going to ask of you in exchange for this information. I'm going to share with you what we're not allowed to share, but this stuff here I normally share on my personal platform, which is called Studio Access. This is where we do the real deep dive important information. So if you think, yes, this here is exactly what I want, all I ask is that you go and give the 7-day free trial a go. Try it now. It's available for the next few weeks. Give the free trial a go. If you think this is good and this is what you want to be getting from YouTube and you're not, that's where you'll find it. Most people watching this won't know who I am, but I am a commercial photographer. That is what my day job is. I shoot everything from sort of, when I say startups, I mean startups with money behind them, through to global campaigns for brands like Mars, Dolmio, Papa John's, Kenvue, Johnson & Johnson, most of those big brands, Pepsi, Doritos, that sort of thing. That's what we shoot for. That's who we're shooting with. And then we do smaller jobs, like we do UK jobs for brands like Greggs. Our current Cathedral City campaign's just been relicensed, so that's out there as well. It's a big mix, and it's stills and it's motion. I also co-run the agent or agency that represents me. So I've been represented by an agent for the last decade, various ones throughout my career. And the current one, a year and a bit ago, rather than just being represented by them, I now work alongside them. So with that, I front as an executive producer. So I see all the briefs coming in, I see all the budgets going out, I see what we win, what we lose, and everything in between. Now, I'm not going to share anybody else's information on this with that in mind. I'm only going to share what I charge. And what I charge is not the same as everybody, but we're all pretty close. Now, because I know most of you are not in the UK, here's how it works. If you're in America, you need to convert it to dollars, and then you need to add 30% on top. And that is to give you both the conversion rate and the same standard of living as in the UK. If you live in Australia, you need to double the number and add 30%. So if it's £100, it's 260 Australian dollars. Have I done that right? Let me know in the comments. But you get the gist. Anybody else, Google what is the London cost of living equivalent for where I'm based. And then one last thing before we go into the numbers, because this is important. I am a commercial photographer, not a corporate photographer. They're two very different genres. So here we go. I'm reading off something down here, by the way. So if I look like I'm not paying attention, it's because I can't remember all these numbers off the top of my head. I can remember the numbers, but not the order. Right. I'm nervous doing this. This is ridiculous. I'm nervous telling you these fees. So pre-production, that is meetings and jazz up front. I charge £1,500. Travel day. This is important here. I don't live in London. Advertising happens in London. I do not charge travel days to London because I take the hit. And I take the hit because I have a London wage living in a non-London expensive area. But if we have to travel, which more recent years we have done, Manchester, Edinburgh, Birmingham, whatever, for a travel day, I charge £2,000 per day. So if I travel the day before, £2,000 and then £2,000 to travel back again. Hotels and stuff are included, but I don't make any money on that. It's just paid for. Obviously, hotels, food, all paid for. We then, of course, charge mileage. Now in the UK, for the first part of the year, and when you get to 10,000 miles, you can do 55 pence a mile. We just bill that direct. And then we get to the actual being on the shoot. So my day rate on a shoot is £4,500 for a commercial job of magnitude. Not always. Sometimes we'd go as low as £3,000 a day. And I'll explain that on Studio Access to how you pick within that. But generally speaking, if, for example, I don't know, Coca-Cola came along, it's £4,500 a day. We then have Digital capture at £450 a day. That is the fee we charge for capturing the files to Drive and writing them and storing them. We also now charge for hard drives. I charge £600 per shoot for hard drives, because before we used to just like dish them out like sweets sort of thing, but they're so expensive now that we charge for them. If I'm having to buy a couple of T7 drives for every shoot, that is now becoming an expense that I'm not willing to front. Thank you, AI. Then we have my director's fee. So many jobs I do now are stills and motion. Now, if it's a motion only fee, this wouldn't be my director's fee. My director's fee would be more 10 to 15K. But when it's a stills and motion job, I don't just charge my photography rate, I also charge a director's fee. We have a DOP shoot the motion. My director's fee is £3,500. So in terms of being in the room, we're charging £8,000 to be there, but there's more to it. We then have equipment. So I tend to charge £1,500 as a standard fee to turn up with my own kit. I rent the light stands in separately because I'm not traveling with light stands in my car. They are like javelins unless you're in a van. So I charge for my kit, and that is medium format technical cameras, backup cameras, broncolor lighting, good quality equipment. I charge for that and I keep the money and we transport it down. Motion kit, we charge £3,000 for. That is the big 1200 LED lights, the 6K cameras, anything like that, video tripods, all that sort of thing, a little bit of motion sometimes, like motion control, that sort of thing. We charge that as a flat rate, and that is where we make more money again. Then on your average shoot, we need to do a color grade and selects. So for that, I charge about £2,500 unless it's particularly laborious and long-winded. But if we're doing loads of 6-second clips, we'll grade them and deliver them for them to be properly edited. If it's the stills and there's 10 stills for the day, I'll make the selects for them, mark them all up if the digi hasn't already done it on set, add a grade and deliver those ready for retouching. Now, retouching. As of 2025, we don't do retouching because it takes too much time. And what happens is, before the shoot, everyone's happy and excited. On the shoot, everyone has a great day. Post-production, it goes sour every single time. There's always a problem with post-production, and because of that, I will not touch it. It'll go to a post house who specialize in this. King Henry, Curious, one of these sorts of people. They will take the post, they will take the money. I don't even want to mark up. I don't want to touch that. It's always bad, because somebody afterwards goes, oh, wouldn't it be great if we'd have just lit it differently? And then all hell breaks loose. So we don't touch that, but we do charge for that delivery of files with grade. I have to bring my laptop close now so we can see the numbers. So for that particular shoot fee, and this is not the whole thing yet, we're looking at £21,550 for a one-day shoot, being out of the house for 3 days, $38,183 American if you're in New York, and Australian $56,030 Australian dollars. That is my take home for the 1 day of shooting. But that is not where we make the money. Now, I also run the production. So with the production company we charge a 10 to 20% markup depending on the type of job it is. So if it's, I don't know, a 200K shoot all in, we'll be making 20 to 40,000 on top of that. That's another bit of cash you can make if you can run production. Don't just go, I can run production. You need staff, you need producers, you need crew, you need a bank balance, and you need logistics. You need to be able to pay everybody, which comes to payment terms. For any photo shoot, it is 50% before we even phone my assistants up to book them. 50% must hit the bank account before I even consider booking a Digitech or a food stylist. That's just, it has to happen. Now, in terms of final payment, it differs. Often we try for 50% on 30 days of invoice. We're not waiting for the post-bid. And I've seen post-production drag on for 6 months. I'm not waiting for that. Or we'll do an extra 25%, 30 days from the shoot date, and 25% on delivery if we're somewhat involved in the post-production and they feel they need it as a lever to keep us on task. Now, the rest of the crew fees, I don't touch. Like all the rest of the crew, we've got a video on Studio Access which is going to go through what every member of crew does, what they get paid, what makes a good one, a bad one, how to source them, and all that good stuff. But that all just goes on the line items. The bit where we make the good money, though, is usage. Usage is everything. Now, I've got a whole video on Studio Access explaining what to charge and when to charge, but I want to explain to you what usage is. So, for example, if I want to go and blare some Black Sabbath right now on this video, I need to pay the Black Sabbath company to use that music. The music already exists, It's already out there, but I can't play it here because I'm going to make money from this video. Granted, pittance from YouTube. I'd approximate £100 at most, but I'm going to make some money from this. There is a commercial gain to it. So I could ask them to buy a song and they're probably going to want £1 million to buy that song for me to own it. Or I could go, do you know what? I just want to use it on this YouTube video. And that's all I'm going to do with it. How much to have it on here for a year? And they'll be like, oh, do you know what? 20k, you can use it. That's what usage is. So instead of a company paying to own my images and buy them from me, they're paying to use them for a set amount of time and for a set type of usage in specific locations. So you've got duration, type, location. For me, there's only two types of usage I want, and that is the 1 year and the full buyout. There is nothing better than coming into a year and going, I've got 10 shoots that run out of usage this year and they're all going to renew. And usage can be anywhere from sort of 5k at the very low end for like a few months usage on socials only to a couple of 100,000. And because of that, that is where the money's made. Now, in order to do that, there's a whole world of stuff which is way beyond what I'm going to put out on YouTube, because if I thought I felt bad sharing this information for free, I'm definitely not sharing that for free. And I know that contradicts what I said at the start, as the reason I'm sharing this is because I don't like the gatekeeperiness. But on the flip side of it, it took me years and a lot of money to learn this stuff. So I know I'm contradicting myself. Yes, I want to give away free information, but also I don't want to give away free information because I don't know. And I know it makes no sense. I'm aware of the contradiction that I am. It's noted. Consider it noted. But yes, it's not something I'm willing to give away on YouTube for free because it is such valuable information. And I think for the sake of signing up for a 7-day free trial, it's probably worth it. Now, when that video comes out, I don't know because I'm not sure when this goes out. If this is going out sometime in September, it's already there. If this is going out in August, which is when I'm filming this, it may or may not be, but it'll be there soonish because I filmed it all on the same day. It's just got to go through the editing jargon. Anyway, did you like this video? Was it useful? Ask away your questions. See you soon. Bye-bye.